Hey everybody, so I'm back for another review of Love After Lockup, uh, Hide and Seek, Season 5, Episode 38. Okay, let me tell y'all something. This season has been good, okay? For all the wrong reasons, but that's, we don't watch the show for a moral compass. Forgive me, I just got the shower, that's why I have sweating. Anyway, I sweat a lot anyway. All right, nevertheless. Okay, so WeTV, let me tell y'all something. Y'all stay keeping a new cast because of that advertising y'all do between commercial breaks. On if you or someone you know is dating an inmate, contact us. They advertise the way talk shows in the 90s used to advertise for people. And remember how much more entertaining TV was on those teacher work days? Anyway, that's why we get these fresh storylines. But y'all did it this time. Now, let's see who to start with. Let's go with True and Shantae. Oh, gosh. Shantae. Roxanne, Shantae. Oh, baby girl, we got to talk. We got to really talk. All right. So, True is up there. Apparently, he spent the night. He came into the bed, but they didn't do nothing. First of all, you should have locked your door. I don't even know why you let him stay. Yes, I did. Anyway, so he bought baby clothes without her asking, and she said this demonstrated growth. Why is the bar so fucking low? Why must the bar be in hell and pulling it up to purgatory is somehow an improvement? No, ma'am. Nope. He should if he has kids on the way. Growth? I said, say what now? Anyway, you might as well be raising another kid, dating True. So Shantae said, they didn't do anything, but no, she doesn't forgive him. She was outside doing her interview. Now, she told him they are not in a place for him to come. They go to the doctor's office for an ultrasound, or this ultrasound place. I don't know really how that works with babies. I only see people when they give me the pictures and the images. But I imagine it wasn't like a checkup. I hope not. She told him that they're just not in a good place for him to come into the doctor's office in that way. So she's going in without him. I understand why True felt away, right? She's told him he's the father. She let him drive her to the ultrasound. And he doesn't get to go in. But it's also, for somebody like Shantae, very painful and very embarrassing to go into the office like that with a man, and then all of a sudden he's not there. And, somebody will inevitably ask, well, what happened to so-and-so? And next thing you know, she crying and explaining and feeling judged. So I get it. But at this point, Shantae, it's all on camera, hon. Anyway, True apparently tells us that he has a 15-year-old son. True, now granted, he said when he first had him, he could hold him in his hand. And True's still young, so I guess maybe True is had him as a teenager or whatever. And I'm like, all of this fuck shit you doing, running around with different women, not meeting a parole officer, it's not because you were trying to spend time with your son. Now, granted, we don't know what the situation is. And I imagine any woman that's been raising a child on her own since they were a newborn may or may not want their baby's father who got out of prison to just roll up in their son's life, or even the son at this point having resentment. But you need to handle business. All right. So he says this is his new chance. I was like, no, your new chance is to get your ass back down that highway and go see about your son. And say whatever you need to say to his mother and apologize for not being there and not being supportive. And while Shantae was sending you money, you didn't need all that shit in prison. You should have sent him some, just to remind your son that you love him. Now, I don't know whether he did that or not, but the fact that he ain't spent no time with him tells me. What is that shadow? Looks like a shadow. Anyway, tells me you ain't been doing what you were supposed to do. So he said he wants the twins to be named True and Truth. I said, I guarantee you, there is somebody who has already done that. Just in life. I would say, oh, that's so stupid. That don't make any sense, even though I went the fuck. But I'm telling you right now, somebody done already done that. Ain't no sense in me acting like that don't exist nowhere. So anyway, he said they should have had triplets and called them truth, honesty, and genuine. None of those things apply to you. All right? So slow your roll, bruh. Anyway, I'm glad Shantae did hold it down as long as she could and didn't allow him to go in with her. That's her choice. Those are her twins she's carrying. She had to make the decision to have this baby or not. Those babies are not. That's why I think her self-esteem is low. And I know I went in on her last week, but y'all know throughout this season, because I feel for Shantae. I do think the problem with Shantae is that I do think she's smart. I do think she knows the bullshit when she hears it and sees it because she says it, right? She knows when a man is trying to play her, but I think she thinks, and that's why I say her self-esteem is low, that this is the best she can do. And so she puts up with it. And I really hate that for Shantae because I actually think Shantae is a really good person with a really good heart who has a lot going for her. Not, not just because she can pay all her bills, but she can and seems to be able to live a decent life while taking care of 4 kids and stuff like that with 2 on the way. But also because I think she's a very selfless person, a very thoughtful person. And the problem with people like that in this world is that, especially women, find very few people in the world to compliment them. And I hate that for her. And that's why I go light on Shantae because, I've been in spaces where I knew better and didn't do better. And I'm sure there were people calling me stupid or dumb. Yeah, I mean, not like this, but I do understand. I don't know. I have sympathy for her. I do. So what the hell is wrong with True? That he always sits on top of the car like that. I haven't done that since I was a kid. You just be sitting on top of cars like that. Anyway, so Shantae with his big ass. So Shantae, what role did you really want True to have at this point? I don't think you even know. Okay? When True was outside talking to the camera crew, not to Shantae, but to the camera crew, that his worst fear was the next time she has an appointment. And I was like, not the baby, but another appointment. I was like, why? He said, because he may be on house arrest or in prison. And I was like, what you do? Skip parole hearings? The one Shantae was trying to take you when you were listening to your bobblehead sister and some other Shantae who did not have your best interest at heart. Anyway, I was like, huh? So she's waiting for the ultrasound and then gets up and leaves before it. That's why I don't understand why you even brought True. Well, I do think that's something we should experience together, but I don't want him in here right now. Girl, you got to get the internal right. Because those babies are going to absorb what's happening to you. All right? And then, she gets him and leaves and says she wants to wait and come back. I was like, are you supposed to do that, though? Isn't it something you're supposed to get? But I get, okay. She said she knows the babies are healthy, so she's not worried about it. And I was just like, what? Why waste that gas? Anyways, Shantae says she doesn't know if she's going to tell him about the ultrasound. Okay, girl. Meanwhile, just quit playing with me. He said he has to tell her that his PO found out that he wasn't staying at the address with his mother anymore. And he wasn't, and he's expecting to go back to jail. I said, True. Damn, this is the kind of this is why I say she might as well be dating her son. Like a kid who's dependent on their mother, even if they like a big grown ass kid. Because my thing is, you could have informed your parole officer that you're switching addresses. They understand that actually happens. It's about communication. You didn't do that. Because you too busy fool-out lying around with this chick, that chick, every other chick. Anyway, if you would have just listened and not taking your sister's bullshit ass advice because she was so busy hating Shantae, you let that other chick get you in trouble, and maybe you wouldn't be in this situation. But you are. So anyway, they have a game night, which that seems cute for a family. He meets her kids. She didn't tell her kids about the details of their breakup. She just said they chose to go their different ways because she believes what happens between adults shouldn't involve the kids. I absolutely agree. I have never understood women, even friends I had in school, and they'll be like, yeah, my mother said this about, I'm talking about married parents. On top of that, my mother just called. She said she's mad at my father for this. And I was like, your mama discusses that with you? My mother never did that. And I'm glad, because it taught me how to have boundaries with children and things like that anyway. So I'm with her on that. But her kids are old enough to find out by asking him questions eventually. And the children will go into protective mode because at the end of the day, that's going to be their mother, regardless of whether they like that decision making or not. And they will have her back. So her best friend, what's her name? Naja? I don't want to mispronounce her best friend. All right, starts asking him questions about a real job. When you going to get a real job? That's a recurring theme on here, but in this case, it's different. The line of questioning was appropriate. And I was with her best friend when she said, look, she sees it, but she just ignores it. And that's what I've been saying. Shantae's not stupid. She makes silly decisions, but she's not stupid. All right, so she asked him if he's going to be available for all the ultrasounds since you came up here. He said, well, I'll be there for my kids unless, I'm on house arrest or in prison. Say what now? And they were both like, okay, wait, I'm confused. Why would you be in prison or on house arrest? He said, well, basically he starts volunteering her that he was expecting her to go with him to Cape, which is apparently a city where the PO and stuff is, where he has to meet the PO. He starts to gaslight her by saying, well, you hid your pregnancy. And me lying about basically my court stuff is the same. I said, you low down, dirty motherfucker, you. It didn't take 24 hours for him to show his ass. And every time he comes to Shantae, he needs something and he's taken and taken and taken. To ask her to go with him to this shit is a selfish, self-absorbed, ridiculous act. You want her to go pregnant with two twins. I said two twins like it's not the same thing. All right, with twins, to watch you get arrested. Let me tell you something. Stress kills, especially for black women. And is it just me, or does Shantae look a whole lot better when we've seen her filming since she broke up with True? She looks better. Just not having him on her, on her line. Anyway, so Shantae, true to form, drives to court for him. She said she had to pay for a babysitter at the last minute. I'm thinking to myself, gas, drive for 5 hours, and a hotel after he said he would pay for a hotel. I knew he ain't had no money for no hotel. All to follow him. And he's talking to another female on the phone. No, we don't believe you have female friends. Yes, we think you're sleeping with her. Oh, well. It's like she has a grown son, but he's not her son. All right, anyway. So that's what we had with them. Now, that was we still got more to do. Julian and Christine. Julian and Christine are giving us something to talk about, okay? Christine has a job, okay? She's like a bartender, waitress, the service industry, which I think is good. She has a job, all right? Now, they have sex pretty much every day, according to her. Y'all can quit telling us this, because y'all ain't with these bad, like these hot men. Y'all just don't. Christine, just leave it alone, okay? So anyway, she hasn't met his kids yet because his ex-wife doesn't want them to meet her. Understandable. I get it. Those are still her children. She has a right to do that, okay? Especially since they're so young and considering that she had been in prison for drugs and things like that. Okay, now this is where we get the twist. All right, she said when the kids are there, she has to hide upstairs for like 5 or 6 hours at a time. I said, how the fuck does that work? You know how kids are just going around different parts of the house, hanging out, and this, that, and the other. That seems very weird. But what did I tell y'all? I told y'all, Julian gives me that sticking women's bodies, dead bodies in the back of a trunk. He just gives that vibe. He gives that vibe. I'm not saying he does it, but I'm just saying. Anyway, Christine, that third floor may be the third step until the trunk. All right? I'm just saying. I can't prove it. That's the vibe I get. All right. Anyway, so she says she feels like she's in prison. I bet. His ex-wife doesn't even know she's in the house. So the wife saying she doesn't want her to meet the kids is not the wife keeping her jailed up on the third floor. She doesn't know they live together. So she thinks she's drawing a boundary. Okay. And we're all getting this through Julian's ass anyway. So we don't know really what's what. Anyway, so if she's upstairs and needs to take a shower or go to eat, suppose the kids just happen to come upstairs or downstairs and they just see her. I mean, eventually something's going to happen. This ain't Uncle Pete on Soul Food, okay? They are going to freak the fuck out because you have a stranger who still kind of looks like she's jolting from drug use. And that would scare the dog fuck out of me. Julian, where is CPS? I swear they will call CPS on poor people who can't help it, who may have to leave their 9 and 10-year-old alone for 30 minutes to run to the store, handle business, or whatever the fuck. All right? Like, they just neglected their kids wholly. But if you are white, you will always get benefit of the doubt. Anyway, Julian says, look, it's not that bad, and you should be grateful to be here. I said, huh? You gaslighting her too. Julian is off. And Julian, you doing the same shit True is. You think because you don't raise your voice, we don't see it. I see you. Anyway, shout out to New York. All right, anyway, he tells her accidentally he lost his job by saying he had an interview the next day. She was like, Julian is the worst liar. Yeah, I didn't mean to say it. Like, are you just going to let her end up seeing the sheriff's notice on your door? Anyway, she was like, how could you keep a part of my life from me? Good question. So then she starts asking about what does this mean for their livelihood and the lawyers and stuff. I was like, now see, that's where Julian lost a whole lot of his money because he got laid off. And it is a rough job market. It is. But you spending money on lawyers in Ohio and some other state, West Virginia, I think, on her getting her kids back was also wasting a lot of money. One fucking case at a fucking time. If you were going to do anything, where does this, who told QuickTime to do that? Anyway, so Julian, you know, he's having money problems. Duh. All right. It reminds me of that episode in The Office. Never mind, Jen had money. Anyway, so she has found a job in a restaurant and he doesn't like it because it doesn't pay much. I'm like, baby, what kind of job did you think a former bank robber was going to get? Within 3 weeks out of prison, she was still able to get a job in the service industry despite her record. But Arthur is struggling to get a job. Don't tell me, see, that's why I'm not one of people. Don't come and tell me rates don't apply. White people can get second chances, third chances, 80th chances. I don't care what happens. Black people got to bend all out their way just to get the basics. And then people are always watching you. You can't make a mistake. And she actively chose to rob them banks. Anyway, she's telling her colleagues, her business and work. And they, you know, basically like, we don't really fuck with Julian as far as we know based on what she's told us. He lost his job. He says he has about 2 to 3 months severance because he was laid off, right? Be grateful for this show because that's clearly how y'all gonna have to pad y'all's pockets. Now, him saying he's worried about her getting peer pressure with drugs in a restaurant with her, you know, colleagues and hanging out with them. Julian, there's a lot of drugs in restaurants. There's a lot of drugs anywhere for anybody who wants them. Okay, and I'm going to need you not to be talking about her coworkers like they aren't 10, 15 years younger than she is. They are not her peers. Okay? Cut it the fuck out. All right? Julian, y'all, she gets in the car and just goes home with Julian after he finally tells her about the interview. Did she tell her friend she wasn't going to make it? Because did we ever see her walk over to the car and say, never mind, y'all go ahead. I could have missed it. Anyway, so Kim and Joey. None of this surprises me. And Kim, the way you came into this relationship, the way you sat on camera and told your cousin who was doing your nails that you slept with her boyfriend in high school and now you are about to get married to him has never sat with me. That's the type of chick you are. Okay? So you are the chick you're worried about coming into his life. And you know that. So I'm just not here for it. I can't. I don't see it for her. So he's helping her get the kids together. Joey said he's going to get tires. And I was like, tires for what? Didn't he get a brand new car for Christmas? What do you mean you going to get tires? She was like, well, you know you have a budget. You didn't ask why he needs tires on a car? Where does Joey work? Nowhere. Why are these tires so worn? Anyway, he said, well, I do, you know, he's telling us that he does help Kim out a lot. He helps get the kids up in the morning and helps get them dressed and cooks breakfast. You do realize that women do that every day in relationships with men they're married to and still work. It is a lot of work, right? So when people say when you get divorced that women don't deserve X amount of money and alimony and child support, get the fuck out of here. It's a lot of work. But if you living in her house and living with her and she's supporting you and you're not really working yet, That's kind of the least you could do. Because you're taking these kids in and you're becoming essentially their stepfather. You should be there to help get them dressed. Anyway, and cook for them. All right, so he says, yeah. So she said she had spent about $15,000 on Joey. This is the part of the show that I can never, my mental cannot rectify with, okay? She said she spent about $15,000 on Joey. She was talking about how he needs money management, so on and so forth. She's spending her life savings on their lifestyle. And she's just a teacher's assistant. I'm a history teacher. I'm a full-time school teacher. I don't have no $15,000 I can touch to go to anything. I pay into retirement that I ain't gonna never see. And for all I know, the way Social Security is going, they told us it's gonna be gone by 2030. Ain't that about a bitch? The government is fucking with our money. Anyway, but where do you get these sort of credit lines? These people kill me on these shows. They have all of this money. She has 2 new cars. She's been able to spend $15,000 on him. Are you kidding me? You can't have it like that. Hell, your father's still mad about that bike he stole. Anyway, I just don't understand. I need to know how these people get the kind of credit and money that they get. All right, and how they work, because I'm confused. So he was going to go and get rims like it's 2002. And why did you need that? Those rims are probably more than his car payments for 6 months. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim's car payments, because we know you're not paying on it. Then they're playing pool at the rim shop, and I was like, but then again, I don't go to rim shops. Maybe that's what they do. Anyway, then he's still talking to another girl. His ex-girlfriend is trying to get back with him now that he's out of prison. He said, but she ghosted me while I was in there. I said, Joey, she may have. But you have given her some indication that you're interested, because she clearly knows how to communicate with you, and you had a new phone. And you saying you need closure says to me you still have feelings for her. Okay, but once again, I don't feel shit for Kim. Anyway, Kim comes in and sees the rims walking into the house. I know she had to be pissed. Those rims were whack. I can hardly tell. I thought we were looking at regular hubcaps. For some $2,200. How much is your mortgage? I need to know. Okay, and she's mad that you said you were going to get tires. And you have tires, and he's like, I did get tires and rims. I don't remember him asking for no goddamn tires. But what the fuck I am going to say is that he didn't need no new tires. And she was like, well, I want my debit card back. I said, bitch, you let him have your debit card? You don't have no alerts on that? Oh, no. No. And this bitch, he had the nerve to say, I wanted to do something for myself. Joey, kiss my ass. Kim, go get your card. Kick him out your house. Cut your losses. Next, Arthur and Hope. Arthur, okay, so he started going to a therapist, which I think is great. And I really hope things turn out well for Arthur. I really do. I think he's somebody who has the ability to put his life back together. I think he's a good person. Well, he tells us that he grew up Muslim and he brought Hope to the mosque. Because he said he's really looking to get back to a foundation. And that's what people do when you've been raised in a particular religion. You go back to your foundation. But I was sitting there like, because I could tell by the way Hope was covered up. I said, please don't tell me he no Hebrew Israelite though. Please. But he wasn't. All right. So I did have an inkling before they said it when they showed up to the mosque. I was like, they're going to let Hope come in the men's entrance? Because and they typically do have women's entrances and where women pray and stuff like that. Because let me tell you something. I took a class on Islam when I was at Spelman, and it was a black woman who was a Muslim. I want to say she was part of the Sunni. Let me make sure because I don't want to. Yeah, she was a Sunni. All right. And I did not like her. It was clear she had an agenda, this, that, and the other. But there were things that I learned. Now, we had to go and visit a mosque one time. That was part of our assignment. And we could choose any mosque we wanted. So I did ask a couple of people. I did look around. Because I was not going to go in there and just take on somebody's religion. Because let me tell you something. I grew up in a Baptist church. We didn't ever ask that people take off what they had on. And maybe some of y'all had those experiences. But nobody was going to tell you, you shouldn't be wearing this. You should be wearing a turban, or you need to leave, whatever. And I remember coming back to class. Like I said, she had an agenda. I don't even want to get into it. She didn't really teach. And I wasn't the only one who thought that. And I'm talking about like people who took her at different times, even people 2 or 3 years ahead of me. And she was like, I said, well, I went into the mosque. It was, they allowed me to sit back there and observe. And I told them, why I was there, because I didn't want to disrespect it. And I was like, she said, well, you guys should be covered, like your hijab. I'm not even talking about like your body or whatever. And on top of that, and I said, really? They didn't ask that I did that. And that's exactly why I chose that mosque. She was like, well, if you would have gone somewhere else, that would not have been acceptable. And I said, well, I didn't go to a mosque like that because I think it's to pressure us to change how we look for that kind of religious service as a class assignment. Not because I don't respect people's religious boundaries, because absolutely, religion is a choice in that way. But I was offended that she even thought that was okay. That you would send us to mosque and then ask people to cover up. And some girls were like, yeah, I covered up because they really just wanted to be liberal and explore the experience. And that's their choice. But at the point in which you make it a class assignment asking us to do that, I know all hell would have broken loose if you would have asked Muslims to do that for Christians. But anyway, I just say that to say, one of the things she said, well, the reason why women are allowed to lead in prayer is because, or not allowed, they don't call it the pulpit, but wherever the imam, the leader of the mosque is, and the men get to pray because women are unclean because of their menstrual cycle. I had never fucking heard that shit before in my life. And I said, say what now? Now, granted, this is one person who was Muslim, who came from a black family that turned from Catholicism to Islam, whatever. But no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. Anyway, so I knew, and he was like, but you're, I guess, nevertheless. But that is something that they do. I'm not even mad at these people. I was just sharing. Anyway, so he had a discussion about, Arthur did, about how he lost his sense of religion. Then the wife starts explaining to Hope how she used to dress like everybody else, but the Quran says for women to cover their beauty. And I'm like, why? I remember learning about this too. And it was clear to me, because she said the same thing. She claimed that the covering is for the protection of women. This is my professor I was talking about, from being raped and things like that. And me and my classmates really that day, because I had kind of taken a break from trying to push back with her that particular day. And they challenged her. They were like, well, why is all the responsibility on a woman to cover herself to not tempt men, as opposed to men taking responsibility and just not raping women? And I'm just like, and she told us about a story where she was chased by men. And granted, rape, sexual assault is not because of a particular religion. It's not. It is a thing males disproportionately have done to women. It's sick. It's wrong. So I'm not even suggesting that Islam is responsible for it. But I'm saying she tells the story of when she was at, in Mecca. And, this man had chased her and then another man protected. And I was just like, yeah, but you had that with all them clothes on in the Middle East, hot as hell. You having those clothes on was not the reason why that man didn't get to you. Another man just happened to see you running and stepped in. But she insisted on trying to convince us that anyway. So the wife, the wife of the imam, the man who leads the mosque, told her that, look, as a woman, you should follow the man because he's the leader of the household. Here we go. And we know that is not unique to any of the Abrahamic religions, okay? Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. But that's very difficult in a capitalist society, okay? We see that rise up in many marriages. And anyway, so Hope asked, how do you follow ahead if you're the one providing and taking care of the bills? I said, that's a good question. Capitalism. Who has the money? Who has the resources? All right, so she said, well, it's his responsibility to provide for you 100%. And your money is your money. Now, I said, now that part I kind of like. Anyway, so people who think that Muslims are awfully or often just simply polygamous, y'all have it wrong, okay? They're wrong. The thing is, you can have multiple wives, all right? But you can't have multiple husbands. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the way it is. All right? But you can have multiple wives. Okay? They're wrong. The thing is, you can have multiple wives. All right? But you can't have multiple husbands. Okay? They're wrong. The thing is, you can have multiple wives. You have to prove, however, that you can provide and take care of any woman you marry, and you have to marry them. You don't get to have just multiple baby mamas, treat them any other way, going in and out the house. It's a responsibility. It's understood. It has to be proven. So this is what I mean, like, these sort of ideas that we think are somehow, you know, and particularly we see this with black men talking about that kind of shit. Yeah, well, they get to do, yeah, you don't understand, because see, they still are responsible for providing for the number of wives and children they have. Anyway, she made it clear that he has no right to touch your money. I said, ooh, she going in. She said he should be ashamed of taking your money. I said, ooh, well, I would say that, I mean, he admitted that, you know, it is embarrassing for him to have to take money from her. And I think many people should not want to depend on somebody else. Certainly not a man on a woman. And that's just me. And I know that's not a great way to see it, but I just don't. However, what we're not going to pretend like, because y'all know I like Arthur, but not simply just because I like him, we're not going to act like he didn't just get out of prison. And that Hope didn't know that. And that Hope chose to send him money and shit in prison. And honestly, this wouldn't be a problem if you weren't so busy trying to keep him from his family, where he could have just taken their money because his family, a little less shame, and his mother was willing to take care of him. You're choosing, you actively pressured him into staying in that environment. So you get what you get. Anyway, and I was just like, well, what's he supposed to do? Things aren't easy for black people to get a job. I know, as somebody who has a name like Salah, even with all the credentials, I'm telling you, people discriminate. And then you have a record? Come on now. So they go to the stitch shop and look at some stuff. She brings up how the woman told her about this, about how he should be ashamed to take her money. I said he wouldn't have to if you didn't insist on this relationship. He'd go home and take his mama's. Anyway, that woman just confirmed for Hope that it was okay for her to feel the way she was feeling. Okay? She ain't just get that thought. She put it on that woman to kind of help avoid an argument. He talks about how he put in over 100 applications and hasn't gotten any calls back. I believe him. I believe him. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to make money legally, especially after jail. That's why so many people end up back in there. All right. So then she starts asking him, well, when is he going to propose? I said, propose, not the man you just said isn't contributing, doesn't have a job, and can't be a provider. I know you're not asking him to find no ring and propose to you. You ain't that broken up about the dependency on your money. Girl, bye. Now you want to marry him? How, Sway? So she said he asked her to marry him in prison. She said that doesn't really count. And he didn't get on one knee and stuff. And I can understand that. Every woman deserves their moment. I am not sitting up here saying Hope doesn't have the right to want that. But baby, cut it the fuck out. All right. She brings up how he proposed to a woman on social media after knowing her just a few months. And he said that was fake. I was like, fake? If you did it. And she was like, what? He was like, basically, she wasn't the one, this and the other. And when the hell did he do all this proposing? Haven't he been in jail like since he was young? But okay, girl. Okay. Yeah, I would think I deserved more too. But you, like Zaria, y'all go and be with a man. Y'all should have gone and been with the man that was free out of jail and that you were screwing while he was in prison. And Hope, apparently you were screwing many and admitted to that. To us, we didn't even ask. Maybe the producers asked, but we didn't. Arthur said engagement is a journey. I said, that's when you know a man is not trying to mess with you like that. No, it's not. And he said, your family doesn't even know about me and he can't give himself to her because he's not whole. I said, hello and good morning. And that's why I fucks with Arthur. And if you can't deal with what he's carrying, he's not forcing you to do that. He's really not. And I think Arthur has some struggles and that pressure isn't helping. It's not. But the thing is, if Arthur's going to therapy soon enough, he's going to get his strength and walk out on you because somebody's going to tell him this is not healthy. So we get to the final bout. Let me tell you something. Zaria's fuck shit does not disappoint. Zaria, you are a hot ass mess. I knew when you had them Uno skip-bo cards trying to predict your future about this baby mama, you was trouble. But baby, we started and ended in the same goddamn place with them. Again. So Karen, the hood mama, is there telling the producer with her windbreaker and a bra. I said, this is how you can tell somebody was not the kind of woman they needed to be for their child, because in the 50s, when you're still trying to, in your 50s or 60s, still trying to get attention like that, something ain't right. All right. So Karen, the hood mama, is there telling producer, that Zaria had an affair with some other man, had him up in the house. And this is all after they done got in a car looking for Troy, who walked 6 miles on fucking foot. Okay? She ain't bringing that up in. So the producer was like, who? How do you know? And then she said, she was telling me. I thought she meant Zaria was telling her. So we hear Zaria, who locked her dumb ass up in the bathroom or bedroom, calling her sister Zion and saying how Karen is messy, how she can hear her in the living room talking about her being with another man. Then this bitch dropped a whole ass bomb and said, he already know. I said, Zaria, I was going to give you benefit of the doubt. Like, Karen just a damn liar, because she is. Because she is. But damn, Zaria, that's why I said, now I see. That's why you so paranoid. Y'all been married for 3 years while he was in prison. Why didn't you just marry the man you was screwing that was free? If you was just going to marry anybody, he was already out. Girl, stop. I'll tell you why. Because being with her baby daddy's cellmate is her way of getting him back for hurting her. That's why. That's how she moves. She that kind. I can tell. Anyway, girl, bye. So she said they were fighting and she didn't think she could make their marriage work in prison. No shit. All right. So Zaria said Troy talked to his mom about it when they were in prison, and she told him to move forward with their relationship. She was the one encouraging him. Probably because she was sending him money, but nevertheless. Let's not give Karen too much credit for her opinions. Nevertheless, then Troy, I guess he walked back another 6 miles, or the production van brought him. No, because he just seemed to be playing out there. Not playing, but moving around the grass. Zaria, you a bitch. You a bitch. And Troy can do better. That saying to him, get out my house, pack your shit and go. I don't like it when men do that to women. And I don't like it when women do it to anybody else when y'all are married. We're not talking about y'all boyfriend and girlfriend and it was just kind of living. No. When y'all are married. Because you know that he doesn't have anywhere else to go. Okay? I don't like that shit. Don't be with somebody knowing what they have and don't have. And when you get in an argument, threaten to kick them out as a way of control. I don't like that. And I think Troy is a nice guy. Let me just say this. Troy is a good one. And I'm not being facetious. Like, he has an incredible ability to maintain his control and temper. Because just on a regular human scale, that kind of shit could have provoked me to all kinds of yelling and throwing at the point in which somebody's screaming at me the way Zaria was. And he just got out of prison. Let me tell you something. You don't know what them people been through, and sometimes they, So we start at the same place with them. Zaria lost her damn mind. She told him, get the fuck out my house. But that ghetto ignorant shit where she started screaming and saying she didn't want to talk to anybody but him. Now this is mind you, after she done kicked him out the house and everything. Oh my gosh. And pulled him in and screamed and wailed on him. I mean, she was wailing on him. She said, why did you call your baby mama and tell your mother to tell her your mother about me cheating? I was like, didn't you just say that she already knew when they were in prison? He said, I didn't. Yes, you did. I said, girl. And you did it on TV. Well, bitch, that's your fault because you signed them up. You signed y'all up for that. I know he ain't signed y'all up for that from prison, because if that was the case, a lot more people in prison would be signing up, because that would be a form of money. I said, bitch, you signed up for this shit and you got the nerve to be talking to him like that? Zaria is crazy. And on the surface, honestly, her parents seem like very decent people. They seem to be very understanding and supportive. Even her sister seemed like a nice person. Her son seems like a nice person. Zaria, something is wrong with you. Okay? And I'm not here for it. All right, but so that's a review of Love After Lockup. And be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.